Yo, good morning. Woo
What's
woo.
up? What's up? I know we need some intro music when we come on so we can be rocking out. We need some unlicensed music so Facebook doesn't shut us down though for rocking out with Eminem or Justin Timberlake or something. What's up, Karen's in the house? Welcome everybody to another episode of the A&E Show. We are excited to come to you today, yo. That's what, maybe I should have a rap to bring everybody in the morning. We are going to be sharing with you guys all about your cards and how to read cards. And we're also going to be bringing you an activation, an intuitive activation, so that you can open up, you can feel safe inside these higher realms of energy as we learn to work in the higher realms of consciousness with spirit, and to make the messages that we get more clear.
Hey, Joanne.
And Joanne's in the house. What's up? And Joanne. All right, so we're going to share this out a few places. We want to invite you guys to share it out too. You know, we like to give away prizes.
We have a sharing contest, guys. Whoever shares out to the most locations. That means share this live post. You have to make sure you're sharing the live video. So you click share on the live video. Not on the post maybe you're finding it in, but make sure it's the live shot. And share that out. Hello, Pino. Yay!
Yeah, Pino's in the house.
Yeah, share this out.
Sharing the light.
Yo, yo.
Let's see. I also want to share one more place. Cool. Boom. All right, your all's turn to share it up as well. Tell us hi once you get on, by the way, so we can say hi to you back, so we know who is here.
Here, and we're having a contest. The prizes are amazing. We're having a contest for who shares the most groups. So keep going, keep sharing.
Keep sharing this out. Keep sharing it out. So let's just talk about the news of the week. Let's talk about what's been going on with us this week. First of all, major solar flares have been coming in. We experienced the physical havoc that those wreaked yesterday when the Wi-Fi just wasn't working. Yeah, Elmer's in the house. This also can wreak havoc on our emotions, guys. I don't know if you guys have been feeling your tempers flare, if you've been seeing other people's tempers flare, if you've been feeling any kind of emotional stuff coming to the surface. It's time to release all of that. And I find that really gets triggered during these times of solar flares. It's like you get a shock, and it brings anything that you no longer need to the surface. Time to let it go. So I've been experiencing that. I'll put my hand in the air on that one. How was your week, Amanda, in terms of the solar flares and the energy coming up?
All over, girl. I had it was just a very busy week for me, just as a mom and working and everything else. It was an extremely busy week. Tuesday night, I had back to school night at my daughter's high school, which ended up being like 3.5 hours. This is after a full day of work. And then Wednesday night, I took my daughter to Green Day. That was insane. We were screaming and bouncing, watching Green Day till like 11:30 at night. They were on for like 3 hours. I mean, it was just like, so I got home at like 1 and didn't get bed till like 2 o'clock in the morning. My alarm goes off at 5. So that was Wednesday into Thursday. And Thursday night, I had back to school night for my son at his elementary. So it was full on. And at the same time, yeah, I love Green Day. Oh my gosh. They're the most entertaining band in person I've ever seen. I mean, they pull you in. They pull the audience in every single song, and they have all these people come out and come up on stage, and it was just they're one of those bands that sound better in person. You know, sometimes you go see a band and you're like, oh, that can sound like crap. Or Green Day is a very famous rock band here from the United States. They're actually from San Francisco. Very famous rock band, and they've been big. I got the Dookie album when I was like 15, I think. So I've been listening to them since then. The newer stuff I haven't listened to as much, but my daughter's into all of it, so I took her, and I ended up being so thankful. It was just an incredible. But in terms of energetically this week, a bit all over the place. It's just feeling in that newness and having to figure out how to navigate, let's say, relationships or situations or things within myself from a new place. So it's learning about the new energies I'm feeling It's learning about how to navigate through them, how to stay centered in these new energies. What does that mean? You know, what does it mean staying centered in these new energies? So I've been going through a lot of that, navigating in the new, and it can feel crazy. It can feel scary. It can feel extremely nerve-wracking, and you can develop high anxiety because you're in this place of newness in your energy and you don't know what the heck it is. You're like, am I going backwards? Am I going forwards?
Doesn't it feel like you're going backwards sometimes?
Yeah, because it's new. It's new. So it's this crazy feeling. I can't even tell you. It's just this weirdness. But, you know, the learning and the shifting. Hey, for everyone new that's on right now, we're doing a huge sharing out contest. So so you gotta put in the comments how many times you shared out to different groups and everything. So, hi Rhea, woo! So put in the comments how many times you're sharing out, because what we're going to do is we have these amazing gifts. Well, maybe we can put it in the comments, but like that.
Okay, I think I can do that.
That video thing. So the gifts we're offering is a 30-minute session with me, 3-minute, we call it 3 and 30, where you ask 3 questions, and like the Council of Light or your guides or whomever are going to come through to give you the information. So that's one possible gift for sharing out. Another possible gift for sharing out is working with Emily in the amazing Akashic Records. So you can, you know, ask, oh, thank you, Bex, for sharing 7 times, awesome. But you can share out and possibly been working with Emily in the Akashic Records, and that's tapping into everything that what was, what is now, and what will be, which is incredible. We also have a couple different sprays. I make a spray called the Renewal Spray that you can use anytime when you're out in public or anything else to kind of keep your energy in safety, raise your vibration. Emily has these amazing crystal elixir sprays that she incorporates crystals and all different oils and things. And the last thing is a necklace. She makes crystal necklaces, so that's amazing. So you have all these different options in terms of possible prizes for sharing out the most. So we invite everyone right now to share out to all the groups, share out, you know, with people, with friends, so that more people can see this, what we're doing here, which is a big thing. So let us know in the comments how many times you've shared out. That's what's important. Okay.
I got a couple messages from Spirit in there while you were talking. Amanda, I love the way you phrase things, and first of all, I want to touch on how you were talking about how the energy affects us, and there's this new energy, and it can feel like we're going backwards sometimes. What they downloaded into me real fast, there was similar to the idea in movie making. I always go back to movie making, don't I? Where when you see a car moving, or let's say like a buggy where it has the big wagon wheels, so you can see the wheels a little bit more clearly. When the car is moving at a different speed than the film is moving, it can look like the wheels are actually going backwards. And when the energy speeds up here on the planet and the energy that's coming in is a different speed than we're moving at, until we fully integrate to that new speed, it can actually feel like we're going backwards. It can look like we're going backwards in our life. Please recognize that they're telling us that you're not actually moving backwards, that is an illusion of the difference of the speed of time that's running. Just got major goosebumps there. So don't get down on yourself. Don't feel like you're moving backwards when all of these energies come in. Rhea says she's always wondered about that phenomenon. Yeah, that's pretty interesting that it has, you know, correlation to our real life and what's happening in our real life, not just in the movies. Right. My husband says to me, real life is not a movie, my friend, because I look at everything in the terms of movies because of my background. The other thing that I wanted to say was, Amanda, when you were talking about Green Day and them putting on this amazing show, totally had a vision of us taking this on the road and how we can have musicians come in, we can have like gongs being played, we can do a whole 3-hour concert live on stages for people that's more than just you and I talking. We'll have like experiences coming in and chanting and music and rocking out. Isn't that awesome?
I love that idea. I love that. Yeah, we had already talked about doing stuff here locally, but but to add all that would be incredible.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun concert to go to.
Totally.
Love it. So I also want to share in the news this week. Good morning, Sonia, and good morning, Nilam, as well. Thank you guys for saying hi. Based on the donations that we received last week, guys, we were able to donate over $100 to the Friends of Clay County, which is an animal shelter located in Florida that are taking, it's a no-kill shelter. They're taking in, I get chills talking about them too, taking in all of these animals who have been displaced during this time of the hurricanes that are happening down there. Good morning, Phil. So thank you guys all for your generous donations. It feels amazing to be able to share like this. I'm going to put some posts in the group later on to show you guys where the money went to, so you can check out that organization. You can feel good about the way that we are circulating and sharing abundance on the planet. We want to continue to help the victims of the hurricane this week. And we're going to focus on the humans this week, the people. What Amanda, Clay County, you're home. Good, Carolyn. Whew, got chills.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Totally
Yay.
Awesome. Like Amanda reminded me before we came on live, people are going to be rebuilding their lives for a long time. Good morning, Louise. You're welcome for help. Thank you guys for helping the animals too. So this week, you'll notice the PayPal link in not only in the actual post for this broadcast, but also in the comments. So all the donations that you guys make today, they go to support. We do a 33-33-33 split. So Amanda and I, it goes to support our time, our energy in bringing you these sessions and these activations, this time that we spend away from our family and hanging out with you guys. And it also goes to support places on the planet that need our support and our love. So this week we'll be going to help families who have been so drastically affected by Hurricane Irma. So we invite you to donate. If everybody donates $1 or $2, we're going to be able to continue this idea of making big donations places. Feels really good to circulate abundance in this way. So now let's move into why we're all here, is to learn about our cards. So I've got my huge stack of all my different card decks. How many of you guys out there currently are working with cards? If you're, let us know if you're working with them. Tell us what decks that you like. And
give us cards and let us know how you're doing today. Yes. I think, just message how he's doing. We want to know where you're at. Because, Yes, I totally agree. Physical body issues as well. Yes, a lot of physical body issues as well. And I think what you talked about how it gets you down in your thoughts and your minds, is exactly why they were bringing through this idea of recognizing that it's not actually moving backwards, so that we don't have to get so down on ourselves in our minds and thoughts. Holy cow, Bexy girl. Of course you have 16 decks, my goddess. That's awesome. And if you don't have any decks, and this is really going to be one of your first introductions to cards, let us know that too. I've got my happiness deck here. This is a cool deck that I bought a long time ago. Karen's feeling low energy. Yep, for sure. Oh, Raj is making a deck. That's very cool. This is a deck that I bought that I didn't like at first. Sat in my drawers for a long time. Now I love it. Of course, I've got my Doreen Virtue, Goddess Oracle cards. Love these. I had Doreen's Angel cards for a long time as well, but I ended up giving those to a friend. I pass a lot of my cards along to my friend. I also had the John Holland Tarot deck for a while. Love working with decks. Yeah. Yeah, me too.
T-Dubs, my friend Theresa Warren in the house. She's got 6 decks, main decks that she works with, and a few others. Yay! Annie says she doesn't have any. Awesome, Annie. I hope we inspire you to get on Amazon and order yourself some cards today. You guys can you can get these for like $10 a deck. It's really, they're inexpensive, and not only does working with them. Oh, I got big invites. I got one. Was it last week or the week before? She was a big winner, so she got a free reading. Ed Joanne's working with a small deck, and she feels tired this week. Thanks for sharing. Oh, you know what I wanted to bring in, but I didn't? I got my daughter a deck of cards based on my Bexy girl's recommendation. They're little cards for kids, too, so my daughter has cards that she gives readings. These are my past life oracle cards.
Annie, welcome, Annie's mom. So glad you're on.
Yes, that's awesome. Cool.
That's awesome.
Wait, Phil also says, you don't need a deck. All you need to know is the Fool, 0, and 22. I believe those come from a traditional tarot deck. So oracle cards are a little bit different than a tarot deck, but we can get information from all of them, and we're going to teach you guys what we know about doing that today. So the thing with the oracle cards are that there's some ideas about, and your tarot cards, there's some ideas about care for the cards. There are ways that we can charge up our cards. And there are ways that we can get messages beyond just the message that you see right there on the card. But what it takes to be really good at reading cards is trusting your intuition, feeling safe working in this space. And so we're actually going to flip-flop our order a little bit today. Amanda is going to bring in the activation for us today to really help us feel what it feels like to be in that space, to activate our intuitive gifts and abilities. And then I'll move into teaching you guys a little bit about exactly how to care for your cards, how to read for others, how to read for yourself, and that kind of business. Sound good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sharing out a little bit more to people I know that want to be on but may not realize. So I'm just doing a couple more shares.
Cool. Karen says that she does a card reading every day. That can be a really great way to develop your connection with your cards and your intuition as well. Pulling a daily card for yourself, just asking your guides, what is it that I need to be mindful of today? And pulling the card. Another really cool thing that happens when you start working with decks is you start to increase your intuitive abilities. You start to increase your vibration, increase your level of consciousness. Meditating is a great way to do this. Of course, taking care of ourselves is a great way to do this. Drinking enough water, all of those things that we need to do to keep our vibration high. Working with cards is a way of like exercising that high vibration, and you get more of it. So how you get good at channeling, how you get good at reading the Akashic Records, how you get good at knowing your intuition is finding these different products that can help you. Products isn't really the right word. I'd say tools that can help you increase your levels of intuition and consciousness. And you got to get out there and play. You got to get out there and practice. It's got to be fun. We don't want this to be a stressful thing. It's got to be fun. Fun is a huge aspect in really getting good at being an intuitive reader, healer, whatever it is, whatever direction, specific avenue that you're moving forward in your own journey of being a light worker. It's really important that it's fun, okay? And it's really important that you practice. So having a deck of cards and, like I said, pulling one every single day is an amazing way to practice that and really get good at doing it. I just want to double check, Amanda, make sure that I have the privacy settings. You know how sometimes I mess up the privacy settings? Nope, I did.
I think I did you went through A&E, so we're good. Right?
Yes, I think that we're good. Awesome. Katina says she would really like to learn. Great. You're going to learn some today, my friends.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, make a crystal grid. Phil, thank you for sharing your knowledge. This is a really great thing that you can do too. Crystal grids, and maybe that should be a show that we can talk about too, because that's a completely separate thing. Hello from Ontario. Hello from Southern California.
Yeah, tell us where you guys are. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. That would be awesome.
And a quick reminder, if you're just joining, share it out, because the biggest sharer of the group gets a prize. Elmer says 52 shared. Thank you very much, but no card deck. That's cool. Well, hopefully, like I said, we'll inspire you today.
Shares. I love it. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So while Amanda's finishing up, here we got where we're from. Dunedin, California. Awesome. Got another Cali girl in the house. Carolyn's currently in Alaska. Got New York in the house. I know my girl Elmer here is from Japan. She's representing across the planet.
Yeah.
Cool. Equanimity wishes from Minnesota. Thank you, Diane. So glad that you're here. Suraj is in the land of saints, India. That's awesome.
Well,
Bexy Grove, New Hampshire. Cool. All right, so while Amanda's still sharing out just a wee bit here, I'm going to do a couple of clings of my chimes here. These chimes, oh wait, Eleanor, wait. Oh, yes. Jose's in the house from Brooklyn. This is wonderful. Eleanor says, I can say something. I have found my twin flame, and I will be traveling soon, and I will be sharing with you. Thank you so much. San Francisco Bay in the house. All right, I have these beautiful chimes that I made, and I would consider my chimes and my tuning fork and all of the other things like just in the same category as my cards. They're my tools. They're things that help keep my vibration high. And while I don't make my own decks of cards, I make a lot of my own tools that I use. Awesome, got Scottsdale, Arizona. So I just wanted to show you guys these. I repurposed these chimes right here from an old wind chime outside that was no longer working. And as Amanda shared when she was talking about the prices, I have a product line as well where I make jewelry, and so I've got lots of cool crystals, and I make elixirs with them. I made these. You can see there's pearl. Those are real pearls on there, and there's pearl underneath on the inside of this. So the pearl energy really represents that divine femininity, and our divine feminine is really where we step into our intuitive gifts. All right, so the masculine is an energy that very much puts us in our personal power and sends us out onto the planet to do the things that we're here to do. And our divine feminine really touches us, gets us in touch with the magic, with the intuitive spirit of who we are. And so I've got lots of pearl essence in these. As I ring these chimes, because the pearl has that divine feminine energy, what happens is I want you to look at it like a sonic boom, like a sonic resonance, and these ripples rippling out in all directions. It's really going to be sending out the energy of that divine feminine, that intuition. So this will be the first step in really tuning into the idea of activating your divine feminine today. What I want you guys to do, hello from Surprise, Arizona. Surprise! This is awesome too, Bex's. I want to put Bex's comment up here again. Bex pulled a card right now from the group of the Keepers of the Light deck, and the Soul Expansion card came up. This is brilliant. If you guys have your cards out there with you right now and you want to pull a card and share with us what you got. I'm going to invite.
We'll do my oldies but goodies.
I love oldies but goodies. Okay, so we're going to do 3 chimes. I'm going to hold them close to my mic right here so you guys can hear them really well. Actually, I'm just going to unplug while I do it. What I want you to do when you hear this, I want you to allow your consciousness to follow the sound of the ringing for as long as you can hold it in your consciousness. And when you actually don't hear it in your physical ears anymore, continue to hold the vibration within your consciousness. Okay? That's the trick to using these guys. So here we go. Feel how you can continue to hear and create that vibration, that it can continue to emanate within your being after you don't hear the sound anymore. That's what we're going for. Cool.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
All right, I call this meeting to order.
That was amazing. So what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to teach everyone how to center their energy, center their column of light so that they can work with others. It's really important that you are in awareness of your own energy field, okay, and how you can work with people but not bring on their stuff. Okay, so it's extremely important that you recognize your own centering, your own column of light before working with others. And, you know, I want to teach you guys a way to connect with the core of Mother Earth and go up to Creator's light so that you are grounded in that space before working with others. It's extremely important. Even before you, at the beginning of the day, you can surround yourself in this bubble of light. You know, it's like literally being in a giant bubble of light. And what you want to see is anyone's energy coming out at you, bouncing off. Okay, you want to see other people's energy bouncing off your bubble of light. You also want to experience this central column of light illuminating, and the energy and the vibration coming outward. And that with that energy coming outward, it's not allowing anything to come in. It's not allowing the vibration of anything to, you know, interact with your energy, because we often, as empaths, right? A lot of people on this call right now or on this live show are empaths. What that means is you feel other people's energy or vibration. That's often how you translate what's happening. Instead of just feeling into their vibration, taking that on, you are, through your central column of light and vibration going outward, experiencing what's happening, but being in a centered space, you're not bringing it in and you're not hanging on to it. So it's also about flushing it, opening the chakras in your feet and flushing that energy through the body down into the core of Mother Earth. Feel your feet vibrate right now, just by me saying, open the chakras in your feet. Opening the chakras in your feet. Feel the chakras in your feet open, allowing the energy to flow through the body, down through the feet, down into the core of Mother Earth. Okay, so we want to keep that circulation of energy moving as well. So I'm going to take you through a way of connecting to the core of Mother Earth and up to Creator and creating the central column of light. Okay, so we're going to take I want everyone to take a deep breath in. Exhale. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Just even feel the difference in vibration from taking those breaths. Different, the raising of vibrational frequency in your body just from those 3 deep breaths. We're now going to connect you to the core of Mother Earth and up to Creator's light. So I want you to imagine yourself as floating right out in front of your heart chakra. This beautiful ball of move it up to Creator. So I want you to bring it in through your heart chakra, root chakra, on through your feet chakra, down through the earth, or Mother Earth, all the way into the core. So down through the earth, crystalline caves, all the way down to the core of Mother Earth. This beautiful, it's going to absorb the energies in the core of Mother Earth. It's going to come back together again. We're going to bring this beautiful ball of white light that is you up through the earth, up through the floor, up through your feet, to its root chakra, third eye, crown chakra, through the planes of the universe to connect with Creator. Move up through white light, dark light. Wellers are universal laws of energy into iridescent white light. We're going to move up through that white light. We're going to keep going as far as you possibly can up into Creator space. Just keep going up. Keep going. You're moving up through the multi-dimensional aspects of your being. Keep going to higher vibration, as high as you possibly can, to your source energy from the back of your head up. Feel that connection from the back of your head all the way up to the highest dimensional aspects you can reach. Feel that vibrational frequency and connection now. Up into Creator's light. You're up floating in Creator's light, in the highest dimensional aspect of your being. You can also aspect down onto yourself, sitting, maybe in your chair, on your couch, laying on your bed, whatever it is, down on earth. Notice your connection. Notice the feeling of vibrational frequency. Really, really feeling now through the body. Noticing and feeling the central column of light now moving through your body and out. Now allowing that vibrational frequency to move through the body and outward. Feeling that vibration you in your space lights. I want you to feel around and feel the edges of this bubbly bubble of lights that you're in. I want you to feel and experience anything, any energy coming towards you, bouncing off your bubble of light. Any energy coming towards you, bouncing off your bubble of light. You now can read the angel cards from which you can do work on people, healing, whatever. This connected energy, the central source to your highest divinity aspect of light. I can feel it going up. This is centering your being now. This is centering you in a much higher vibration in order to do your heart chakra to open fully now and vibrate and resonate from all aspects of your being, allowing that vibration to move through, come out the front of the heart chakra, into the back of the shoulder blades, out of the front of the heart chakra, into the back of the shoulder blades, just allowing it in its highest dimensional aspects, just allowing this energy to move through you and that vibration to come through. Really, real vibrations, allowing that source energy through the veins, through the light, through these aspects of being. Really experiencing that centeredness. Feeling that light. I feel this pull from the back of my head upward as I've created this cylinder of light that is that of my being to much higher dimensional aspects. Feel powerful, powerful. Allowing that central column and aspects of light. Really to just continue to resonate our beings at a much higher vibration. So if you're in a space where you can chant, go ahead. If you can't, just listen. We're going to do the ah, bringing in creator's vibration out. So take a deep breath in. We're going to push it. Ready? Another one, take a deep breath in. It's really allowing that higher vibration to rest. Just really sitting in that. Feeling it move through your body. We're now going to move into the card decks. So get your card decks out if you have them. If you don't, listen in, and we're going to begin.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Amanda Marie. The chanting, guys, how amazing does the chanting make you feel? Oh, yes, Phil's talking about some the solfeggio scale here. Oops, my earbud's falling out. Hang on. Get back in there.
Yeah, let us know how you guys are feeling. Yeah, just really feel that peace and vibration and grounding.
Good afternoon, Scott. Yes, we've got the wows and the peace. You know what? What's really cool is that when you talked about just sitting in that vibration after we actually stopped the chanting and just feeling it, totally reminded me of feeling the vibration of our chimes before, you know, after you don't hear the sound anymore, but continuing to keep that vibration in your being. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to share with you guys the knowledge that I have about reading our decks of cards. And I'm going to start by talking about the care of our cards and how important it is to clear your cards before you start. Okay, I've got my chakra card deck right here. So what happens is cards pick up energy, right? And they will give readings for whoever you're intending to give readings for, but they hold energy from the last person that you did the reading for. They hold, if you're doing readings for yourself, they're holding the energy from wherever you were the last time you read those cards. One of my students in learning to read the Akashic Records was sharing about how she had inherited a deck of cards, of tarot cards from her mom. And her mom used these many decades ago when she was at a particular time in her life where she was going through a lot of transition, a lot of what felt like the upheaval coming through in her life. And when my student was doing the readings on the cards, she's like, I kept getting really like strong, harsh, negative messages. It scared me a little bit. And we finally got to the point of the story, because we kept digging around a little bit, that her mom had used these cards during this difficult time in her life. And it's really important that we clear our card decks. Awesome. Becky says the chanting was so cool. The tones resonated and combined with the tone that you were chanting and produced a phantom tone, a higher tone coming from the universe. Yes, that's very cool. Amber says, yes, Beck, she felt the same way. So awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. It's beautiful. So the first thing we need to do is clear our cards. Now, I flashed Phil's comment up about clearing them with salt. You definitely can clear your decks with salt. Salt clears almost anything. It clears our bodies when we need to take a salt bath. You can use, I have like a bowl of Himalayan salts that I use, and the salts will actually take on, they'll pull the toxins, the negative energy out of whatever you're working with your cards, your crystals, your tools. So you want to make sure that you change the salts. You don't have to change them after every clearing. But when you feel the intuitive, okay, time to change my salts now, it's like changing the filter on your air conditioners. You want to make sure that you have, that you change them out, because they will accumulate energy as well. One of the easiest ways that I clear my cards is by holding them in my hand. I hold mine in my left hand, and I do the knocking with my right hand. And I just set an intention that I'm going to clear all of the energy that's left in these cards out of the cards before I begin. So I hold them in my hand, I knock 3 times, and that's what I do to clear my cards. Let's see. Agat says her crystal's in the salt right now. Carolyn says she uses brown rice to clear things too. That's awesome. Hadn't heard of that one. I have done this with Trinity. This is great too. Thank you for sharing. Smudging is a really great thing that you can do for your cards as well. So for example, I've got my Palo Santo here. Sometimes it can be tricky to light. You got to hold this one in the flame for a while. So there, I got it going. And you can use your Palo Santo. You can use your sage. You can use other tools to clear your cards as well. If you don't have anything next to you while you're getting ready to go into a reading for yourself or somebody, do the simple knocking trick. All right. So once we've cleared the cards from, well, we're going to talk about charging them too.
And I also use selenite. So this is my selenite one, and I have these giant slabs. Little even.
Selenite is an amazing crystal because it does not. Yeah, because it does not absorb any negative energy. It's only of the light. So that's another great thing, is that you can actually, so like if you've got your cards in the box, you can store them with a crystal on top of them, which helps keep them nice and clean too. And yes, Ed Joanne, absolutely visualizing divine light around your cards. All of the stuff that we do with actual tools, we can also do with our intention. So if you're sensitive to the smokes, and if you don't have crystals around, you can use your intention and put that, the same bubble of light that we put around ourselves, you can put around your card decks. Very good idea to do. So now that we've cleared out the energy in the cards, we want to make sure that we get an accurate reading for either ourselves or the person who we're doing the reading for. Now, if I'm doing a reading for myself or I'm doing a reading for somebody who's sitting with me in person, I have them go through and they either touch every card. So if it's me, like I'll go through and I'll just touch each one of them with the intention of infusing my energy into the cards. So here's a great question. How long does it need to be in the salt? I usually do my stuff overnight. What do you do, Amanda, when you're using salt?
Yeah, I usually don't use salt because I have my selenite slabs.
Mm-hmm.
So if I need to clear my phone, the backside of it to clear it, because we have so many conversations on our phone. We're always doing stuff on our phones. So it's really important you keep your phone clear. But if I was gonna, you just set intention. You can put it in for 30 minutes overnight while you go to sleep. Then do that. But it's, in my opinion, it's about setting intention, because times are relevant in the higher dimensions. Times are relevant in higher vibrations.
Boom.
So if you only have 10 minutes between card readings or between working with different people, then you set the. So yeah, I mean, that's another way. That's the way that I look at it.
Me too. Yeah, set an intention and use your intuition to tell you when it's done. That's anytime you're practicing and using your intuition, you're gaining more of it. You're getting stronger. Amber asked where she can get cards. My favorite place to buy cards is from a metaphysical store, but I don't buy all of my cards there. Every now and then I'll jump on Amazon and get some cards from Amazon. I like to get them from metaphysical stores because I feel like they are stored in a higher vibrational energy when we get them. But it's not a problem for me. And some people have problems with Amazon, but for me, I use Amazon. I will get cards from Amazon and I will just go through the process of clearing and charging them before I use them. But if I can get them from my local metaphysical store, I do. Otherwise, I go to Amazon. How about you, Amanda? Where do you get yours? Same thing?
Not in Amazon, at the local metaphysical stores. I'm here in the San Diego area, San Diego, California, and there's several here. But I have
Great call, Scott.
Yes. The Leaf store, if you're here in San Diego, North County area, and you're watching this, or even San Diego, there's this place called Leaf. It's Live Enlightened and Free. And it is the most or every metaphysical store. It's absolutely crystals and cards and everything you can think of. It's just an amazing place. And also Soulscape in Encinitas, which is just south of here, is very well known. It's one of the only ones in the North San Diego County. It's on 101 right by the beach. And if you're around here, Soulscape's great. Yeah.
Catherine,
people give them to me as gifts for different, birthday or this or that too.
I love giving them as gifts. I gave 2 of my friends goddess cards for this year for Christmas, and they're into the metaphysics as much as they like me, and they hear about it and listen, and they're into it. And then I gave them cards, and they started using them. Like, wow, this is really cool. I wanted to address Catherine, who asked if she could have a reading. Catherine, I'm not going to be doing specific individual readings today. This is more about teaching you guys how to use your cards. But yes, we want you guys to practice this week, right, in the group. Yes. Great time to bring in the idea of the group. So you guys are right now viewing this on the A&E Show page. There's also a private group. For those of you, and it's not a private, I think it's a public group, or I don't know. It's not a secret group anyway. You all can join. That's what I'm saying. There's an A&E Show group where the purpose of the group is to create a light worker sandbox so you guys can get in there and play and practice. So after we talk about this session this week, we really invite you guys to get in there, get in that group, practice your card readings. Let's, we don't want people asking for readings in there per se, but we do want to create a safe space where you can get it in and practice, where there's not like the pressure of reading for a client and getting it, oh, I got to get it right. We want to create a space for you guys to play and practice and get better. It's like a workshop, a Lightworker Sandbox workshop. So we invite you to go check out the group, the A&E Show group, and practice giving card readings in there. If you want to go live and give some card readings, do that. If you want to, like a lot of times, and Theresa Warren does this a lot, excuse me, on her page, where she'll post 3 cards up and she'll say, pick which card that you want. So however you guys want to jump in and do your readings on there, we invite you to play and practice in there this week. Okay, so now that I've got my cards cleared, if I'm reading for me, I want to infuse the cards with my energy so that they're giving me a very specific and accurate reading. So I go through, there are several ways to do this too. I like to go through and touch all of my cards, fuse them with my energy. You can also, if you're reading for somebody else or yourself, you can like fan the cards out like this. And you can just have the person send their hand over the cards. Oh man, that perspective looks weird. When my hand's up there in the front, ooh, that looks a little creepy. I want to pull it back. Okay, so I know, it's like that skinny, bony hand right there looks like my grandma's hand. I gotta bring that back in. Okay, so you can tell the client or even yourself, imagine sending your energy through your hand and infusing the cards with your energy, and opening to receive the perfect message for you. That's another way that you can do it. Carolyn says she loves when Theresa does it. So awesome of her. Yeah, Theresa is a giving soul. We love ourselves some Theresa. And hey, William, thank you for giving me a shout out too. Another way that I will do it, if I'm doing a distance reading, sometimes I'll get on Periscope and do readings, or I'll do readings for people when I'm doing live feed. I'll put them over my heart. And I intend to use my energy to infuse them with the energy of the person that I'm reading, and just always ask Spirit to be there in support and bringing forward the perfect card for that person. So it's more of an intention and infusing with energy by proxy if the person isn't right there with me. So those are the ways that I make sure that the cards are attuned. It's like turning your radio on and putting it to the right dial for the person. You want to infuse the energy of the person that you're reading into the cards so that they can give you a really accurate reading. And then once you've cleared them and once you've infused them with energy, you're ready to rock and roll. Some people will fan them out. Now it's time to draw the cards, right? So before you just start randomly picking a card, you want to ask a question or set an intention. That's how you're going to get the most specific information for your cards. Even if you just want the message for the day, ask for, show me a message of the day that's going to help me keep my vibration high throughout the day. If you just go in and randomly draw a card without asking any question, it can start to be tricky to say, okay, well, what is this card answering in my life? All right, the card is going to answer the specific question or the intention that you set. So if I don't set any intention and I just pull a random card and I'm like, oh, I got the family card, maybe I'm supposed to be like paying attention to my family this week. That's one way that I can do it. Not necessarily a bad way, but if you want to take your skills up a notch, ask a question. And if I ask a question that says, let's say that this card was wanting to talk to me about my business, not my actual blood relation family. And let's say that if I set the intention or ask the question, what can I be mindful of in my business this week? And I pull this card, it's going to have a slightly different interpretation. It's going to make me realize this says belonging, community, culture, tribe. It's going to cause me to bring my awareness to really connecting with my soul family inside of my business. So that is why it's important to ask questions so that we know what the answers that we're getting, kind of like which category to put this in our lives. And it's okay to get general and say, show me something for my day that I need to be aware of, but make sure that you are asking a question or putting an intention into your card before you begin. Then it's time to draw the cards. All right. I like to shuffle mine. I like to get shuffling. I like the way that they feel in my hand. Not everybody likes to shuffle. Some people will go and spread them out all over the table and just pick a card. Both of those ways are totally fine. I want to share that sometimes there are what we call jumper cards. Okay, and jumper cards can happen whether we are shuffling or whether you're just laying them out. You'll find one card just goes, flies across the room, or it jumps out of your deck. So if you have a jumper card, those are like, memo, alert, alert, alert. Spirit is bringing in a message for you in those jumper cards. So when you have a jumper card, always grab that jumper card, see what it says, and allow yourself to really receive the message of the jumper card. My finding is, a lot of times I'll go to my deck. David says those are his favorite, those jumpers. I'll go to my deck and I'll be asking a specific question. Sometimes it has to do with my finances. Sometimes it has to do with my relationship. Sometimes it has, whatever it has to do with, right? And I'll find that a jumper card comes out, a leaper. Trinity just called it the leaper. And I'll be like, wait a second, this doesn't feel like it resonates with the question that I asked. Many times, while Spirit honors the questions and the curiosities that we have in our life, there's an underlying issue that we need to deal with. And many times, my experience is the jumper card will be bringing forward what that bigger issue is. So the cards are still going to answer my question that I brought forward. But many times the jumper is like, all right, but you need to deal with this first, in my experience. Now, it's really important to add that in my experience, because each one of us, as we develop our skills and we start doing this more and more, you're going to have your own experience. And you will start to find patterns in the way that Spirit works with you that brings messages through for you. And it may not be so by the book. All right, so it's really important to learn these by the book sorts of things. But your experience is just as important as the by the book. Spirit always answers the intentions of the heart, yes. So if your ego is asking a question about your finances or your family, but there's something going on in your heart space, Spirit's going to address what's going on in your heart first. Karen says, what do you do if several jump at the same time? You pick them all up.
It's the clump.
Yeah.
Information kind of go together.
Yeah.
And if you tune in, and what do we mean by tune in? If you listen and allow the energy to come in. So if we've already gone through and clearing our vibration before we read the cards, you're much more receptive to messages. So you're listening, right, or feeling in the body what resonates and what comes to you. It's like hearing your own voice. All of a sudden you get these messages. When you get a clump, they go together. You know, the information is about one experience. Yeah, so that's what it is.
Suraj says, what is the command to get the perfectly synced message? So Suraj, that's why I'm going over, it's more of a process. I don't have an actual command. However, you could totally program a command. If you wanted to program, let's say, use a specific word and program all of the things that I just said, it's like a shortcut, right? If you wanted to program all of the energy that I just walked us through into one short word so that you can do this faster, go for it. If that's what your intuition is telling you, go for it. It reminds me of being a junior high basketball player and standing at the free throw line, and our coach would say, okay, give yourself a word. And my word was I think my word was finesse. And basically what she was doing was she was programming the vibration of that word to bring about a certain amount of visualization, relaxation, and accomplishment in that one moment. So do the same thing with your cards. You know, these life tools that we learn along the way as we're growing up can be applied to every aspect of our life. So feel free to go ahead and program a message program a command to get your perfectly synced message. So jumper cards are the cards that our spirit is like, wah, 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 wah. So make sure you pay attention to those jumper cards. Now, there are many ways to actually pull a spread. I either go with the one card method or I'll pull 3 cards. You can pull more, as you get more advanced, you can pull more advanced arrangements of the cards where sometimes they'll put them in a cross shape. Like my friend Rhonda McNeil does amazing readings, and she will always put them in a cross shape. So she'll like land on the table where there are 3 going this way, and then 2 more going this way, and they each have different aspects of the self that they represent. Since this is a beginner's class, I'm just going to teach you the easy method. You can go with the 1-card answer, or you can go with the 3-card spread. So if you go with the 1-card answer, you're just really going to allow yourself to, when you hear the word stop shuffling, stop, pick the card from the middle, from the top, the bottom, wherever. It doesn't matter. You're trusting that your intuition, that your hand is taking you to the right card that you need. Okay? And then we pull a card for the 1-card answer, and you're going to allow the answer to come through in the 1 card that you pull. Now, the cards are going to have, each one of them, they're going to have a variety of elements on them. Okay, you're going to see pictures, you're going to see words, you're going to see numbers at the top. Most cards come in a family, in an arrangement of family. Not all cards do, but the tarot decks will come. Like this one has earth, wind, water, fire as the different families. Tarot cards have different, I remember my John Holland tarot deck had they had emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. So there are lots of different ways that you can start drawing information from the cards. It's not only what you see written on the card. Cards also come with guidebooks. Every single deck that you get is going to have a guidebook in it. And it's going to have, like, you're going to be able to look up and read more information about the card that you pulled. So we're going to start with just the most basic on the surface elements of the card. So we see the picture, we read the words, we're like getting a feel for what this card means. This is the card of expression, assertiveness, self-control, direction, and it says will across the bottom. So I'm going to look this up in my book. It's number 30. So I'm going to go to number 30 here. And I'm going to read all of the information that it gives me about the card. Okay? As you're reading this, open yourself to receive as much insight as possible. Allow yourself to read it slowly. What's going to happen is, what happens for me, I'll share. What happens for me is I'll go through and I'll read a couple sentences, then I'll pause and I'll be like, oh, and I'll let that sink in. There's generally some correlation that I find right away of what it is that Spirit's trying to tell me, what they're talking about in my life. And then I'll read a little bit and I'll take in the next bit. Oh, and I allow myself to go through and get all of the information from the actual words of the cards that are popping up. Then I want to take it to a more of like a symbolic sort of reading for myself. Not so literal, but more symbolic. So I will look at the images on the card and see what stands out at me. All right, so on this card right here, of course, we've got the turtle or the tortoise there. But notice he's moving through the desert. And then I notice the sun's kind of the sunset-y look of it. And then I notice the trail, this winding trail that he's taking on. So I start to see what of those images pops out at me. What stands out to me? And then I start to symbolically interpret what Spirit is trying to tell me. This is similar to how when we get symbols in dreams, we can say, oh, what is, when I see an apple pie, what does that mean to me, right? Apple pie, I don't know what the story behind apple pie is for you, but it might be something that, your grandmother always made apple pies with you, and so that makes you feel connected with your grandmother, and you're like, oh, and then you start to feel, oh, I do feel the essence of the ancestors of my grandmother here with me. So that's how we start to interpret the symbolic meanings. So grab onto whatever part of the image is standing out to you and ask yourself, symbolically, what does that represent to me? And just give yourself a moment of quiet while you're allowing the messages to come in. You can trust that once you have gone through all of these hoops to get yourself centered and it becomes faster, right? As we get better at doing this, we get ourselves centered, we get our bubble of light, clear our cards, we get them open. It doesn't take as long as it takes as we're going through here today. But once you get yourself to that space, you can trust that you are divinely connected and anything that's popping into your mind is appropriate. There is a correlation. You're not just getting random ideas popping in your mind. If it feels like a random idea pops in your mind, grab onto that. okay? If you're looking at the card and you're seeing the turtle and the sunset, and all of a sudden you see this image of somebody riding by on their bike, grab onto that. Anything that's coming into your mind in this space is a direct correlation to the information that Spirit wants to get across to you. All right? If the color is something that stands out to you, all right, so let's say that the first thing that I saw about this was blue. Blue, for me, then I start going into understand, like, what does blue mean? Well, blue is automatically an indication of my throat chakra, of speaking the truth, at least this color of blue. So I could interpret this as saying, okay, how can I speak my truth? That's how you start getting the deeper messages from the cards. If the number stands out for you at the top, so this one is number 30. In numerology, what we would do is we would add the 3 and the 0 together, which still equals 3. And then you can look up the vibrational meaning of the number 3. And there you quite possibly are going to get another layer of the message when you look up the number 3. If you guys don't know about Joanne's Angel Numbers, this is a website that is just brilliant. It's so easy. If you continue to see recurring numbers, or if you want to know about the numbers that come up on your cards, punch in Joanne Angel Numbers and then punch in the number that you keep seeing on Google. Boom, it'll come right up for you. Come right up, and you'll get a massive amount of information just in the vibration of the number alone. Okay, so that's a simple 1-card reading. All of those techniques in terms of interpreting the insights that you're getting from the card go for the 3-card spread as well. But the 3-card spread is actually 3 cards, duh, right? But our cards represent, when we put them in the 3 like this, they're going to represent past, present, and our future. Okay? Generally, it's going to go left to right like you read. All right? It's going to go past, present, and future. And what I like to do is I like to keep all of my cards turned over, and then I flip them over one at a time. So if I'm doing a 3-card spread, I'll start with the past. And again, we're wanting to ask questions. So here's an example of a question that a 3-card spread would be really, really great for. Please help me understand the nature of my relationship with my husband. Okay? Then I pull a 3-card spread. I'm going to flip over the first card, and I'm going to allow this to represent the past of our relationship and what we've been through together. And I'm going to read that with the interpretation of all of this is about the past that we've experienced. Okay? Same thing, getting messages from the words, from the pictures, from the numbers, from the colors, from all of it. I'm going to flip over the middle card, which will be the present card. This is going to tell me about the present of what we're experiencing right now, bring me more insight on how I can see this from a higher perspective of spirit, of source. And then the future card, which will help give me insight on where we need to steer for the future. Okay? And that's how I do a 3-card spread, a past, present, and future. Now, the question that I'm asking generally will determine if I choose to do a 1-card or a 3-card spread. If I need to understand the deeper nature about a person or a situation, I feel like the 3-card spread is a very powerful way to go. If I'm just asking for information about my day, or if I just need like if it's one specific aspect of one thing, like let's say that I'm waiting to hear about a job, right? My husband's in that right now where he's waiting to hear about a job. We just pulling 1 card and allowing, oh, and I pulled the desire card, sweet. Just allowing yourself to get the information from 1 card can be more effective. Going for the past, present, and future, if you're just looking for information for your day or just looking for information about a very specific situation, can be overwhelming. Yeah. We need not go there.
You can even do 3 cards for a situation. So it just all depends.
Yeah, it just all depends. All depends on how much time you have, how much information you want to get, and intuitively what you're getting, right? You might find that you get the perfect amount of information from 1 card. So that is, like I said, the biggest thing is learning to follow your own instincts, your own intuition, beyond just what the books say about how we do this. Now, after you're done with your reading, I always give my cards a clear before I put them away. So I'm clearing them. I'm cleaning them before I put them away, and I'm cleaning them before I get them out again. And I always just offer a prayer of thanks and gratitude as well when I'm done. just as that exchange of spirit, for spirit showing up for me. I wanted to be in that space of, it just helps me hold that space of awe longer when I stay in appreciation of the information that I've just gotten in. Dave says he has a question: when shuffling your deck and nothing jumps out. Great question. You don't always have jumpers. Okay, don't always have jumpers. If you don't have a jumper that comes out of the deck, you just pull. Okay. Suraj says, how back is past and how far is distant in the future? Well, it's all a relative thing, because as Amanda shared before, time doesn't exist on the higher realms. So you'll be able to see when you flip over a card at the past, you'll begin to understand, is this like way, way past, like 15 years ago, or is this what we experienced yesterday? You're going to intuitively know how far in the past and the how future. David says, thank you. Louise says she's curious about the 5 cross spread. There are different ideas behind how you do this, how you do the 5 card spread, Louise. And generally in the guidebooks, it will tell you if you're doing a 5 card spread, this is how you set it up. So look to the guidebooks inside of your thing, inside of the box that you get. Theresa says a 2 card spread. This is really great. I haven't done a 2 card spread before, but this is brilliant. I love it, T-Dubs. Thank you. She says she does a 2 card spread for balance, where the left card represents the feminine nurturing energy, while the right card represents the masculine energy and how we put ourselves out there. Awesome. 2 card spreads. Brilliant. Thank you, T-Dubs. Typical, the reading runs in 3-month increments, but always follow your intuition. Cool, Bex. I didn't know about the by the book 3-month increment thing, so that's cool. Learn something new.
What does that mean? Increments. What does she mean?
Well, I'll let Bex answer for her, but what it meant to me was that you're basically looking 3 months into the past, present, and 3 months into the future. Ish.
So for me, I feel like I really get intuition on what that meant. That's like, oh, because it'll resonate. It'll remind you word or term. You know, it can remind you of what, it could have been last week that something was going on, like that situation was happening last week. So you go, oh yeah, that was last week. Okay, this makes sense in my present moment. Oh, this is where I'm going to with this situation or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's really about tuning in and trusting. I think the biggest thing for everyone that's listening is trust. It's trusting what you hear. It's trusting what you get with your body. There's so many people I work with and talk to that are like right there. They're masters. They're very intuitive. They use it every day with people they work with or talk to in relationships or situations. They use their intuition. They know they have gifts. They want to know more how to use those. It has to start with you on the inside, trusting, working from that space of trust. And so many times people, they're like, I don't know. And so they keep going, rather than trusting that first hit of intuition, whether you feel it, whether you hear it, whether you see a visual, all the above.
Yeah.
Trinity's saying she gets sensations in her body. Exactly.
Cool. Yes.
It's that first hit or what you get or feel that you have to step forward in. You have to have the fortitude, the bravery to step forward with that information. And until you do that, until you fully step in, you're going to always question whether you're accurate or not. And then let's say even doing card readings for other people, getting information for other people. Once you start trusting that what you get, and the more you do it, the more people will reinforce. And it says, well, I don't know if that's right. Then you've got to keep with it and say, well, this is what I'm getting, and this is why. And then maybe later in the conversation, they're like, oh, yeah, well, last week, da-da-da. It's step goal, trust of the information you're getting that is most important.
Mm-hmm. How the cards, you're cutting out a little bit on us, Miss Amanda Marie. And we can hear like every couple words.
Well, hopefully everyone heard trust.
Yes, hopefully everyone heard that trust part. Yes, that's the biggest part. For me, when I was beginning to step out and really understand my gifts more, cards helped me so much because, like Amanda said, it can be difficult in the beginning when you're getting information through your intuitive sources, not through a physical tool that you have, to really trust that. You're like, how do I know if this is spirit or my angels or my guides, or is this me? And when you're reading the cards and you have an actual physical card right there, you can't second guess, oh, did I really see that image on the card? Yeah, you really saw it because you pulled it out of the deck and it was right there. Yeah, Phil was talking about the golden key earlier. Phil, that's just true. Trust really is the golden key. But cards they really helped me to, as I moved through, my own process of climbing the ascension ladder, which I'm still climbing up it. I don't even see the end in sight up there, but it was really helpful for me to develop trust, because there was humans, it's so much easier when we see it, right? When we see it right in front of us. Cards help you see it right in front of you. And as you begin to use them and you develop trust, you'll move beyond using just the cards, and you'll start to really have communication, just full dialogue, easy back and forth with spirit. And since it is 11:11, and it also means it's about time for us to wrap up. We kept you long today. I did want to acknowledge AJ, who asked for a reading. We're not doing individual readings today, AJ, but we are encouraging, hi Carrie, by the way, every single person who is on here to get into the A&E group. So this is the page. You're watching on the business page of the A&E show. Find the A&E show group. This is the sandbox that we're creating, the space, the safe space. Amanda and I have blessed this space with our energy to hold a very high frequency of energy so that you guys get very clear information so you can practice and get better. But also it's a space of non-judgment. So it's really important that you guys be nice to each other in there. No negative comments, even if the information that you get from somebody doesn't resonate with you. Hang on to it. Many times it might not resonate at the moment, but like Amanda said, later on in the conversation, or later on in the day, or later on in months from now, which has happened to me before, you do start to recognize, oh, I do see how that message was for me. So get in the group, play together in the group. Everybody play nicely, get in our sandbox and play nicely in there. And we want you guys to, all throughout the week, this week, get in there and do card readings. Practice. Do them live. Do them by posting pictures. Do them by saying, hey, send a picture of yourself with your card and say, comment below if you want me to give you a card reading. And then you can pull cards and you can snap pictures. Whatever's resonating with you to practice and get better, but get in there and practice and play, because that's why we've created the group. I also want to say, if this has served you guys today, 2 things. Please like this video, share this video, and also please consider donating. Not only are you supporting my and Amanda's time showing up in our energy, and not only are you supporting your own energy exchange, all right, when we give and then you give, there's that exchange where it allows us to receive to an even bigger and fuller capacity when we are in energetic balance of giving and receiving. So I invite you to donate for those reasons, and also for the reasons that we are also donating. We are sharing 33% of what you guys donate to a different place every single week. It has made me feel so amazing and expansive, Amanda, to be able to donate like this. If you are new on this broadcast this week, scroll through this group. Look at the post that Amanda made and the videos that she shared about when we donated to Casa de Amparo to help the children. We're sending to a church for Hurricane Harvey, right?
So Thursday I sent a check to the John Mosley Methodist Church in North Houston. They're helping people rebuild their homes in Houston, Texas, here in the United States after that horrendous hurricane. Mm-hmm. I sent a check to the church there for them to use that to help people rebuild their homes. It was just, what, a week and a half ago or whatever that it happened, 2 weeks ago. So then we have, the hurricane in Florida, or the Irma, that really just communities. So we are sending. Emily already sent money. She sent over $100 to one of the animal shelters in Florida. Emily already sent money. And we're going to continue sending money. And this week's donation. Can you guys? I'm like concerned. That's why I keep stopping.
Yeah, it's pretty choppy. It's cutting
for a minute.
It's cutting. Oh, Hurricane Harpy. That's really funny. What Phil's referring to, if you guys haven't been made aware of HARP, there are a lot of ideas that HARP is actually controlling the weather. It's a secret government military base where they have special ways that they can affect the electrons and the ions and the clouds, and they can create weather on this planet. So that's an interesting, eye-opening topic. Just interesting, eye-opening topic is all I can say about that. The more I learn about just how much the government has suppressed a lot of knowledge in order to keep us in the robotic state of our life and moving through how we've been moving through, it makes me go, whoa. So if you guys are interested in learning about that, HAARP is how you spell HARP if you want to check out some of what that information is about. And to answer, let's see, was it Becky? Yes, Becky, I posted the link in the group. I will also post the link again on the page. So the link to the group so that you guys know how to find the group very, very easily. Carolyn says, yes, here locally they shoot lasers up into the aurora. It sounds so sci-fi and so like beam me up, Scotty, when we hear about the things that they're actually doing. It can be hard to wrap our head around that this isn't sci-fi, that this is actually real. But I feel like that is also how we keep ourselves down. Remember how we talked about trust? How many times do we get messages from spirit and we're like, oh, is this real? Is this real? We're constantly asking if things are real. So dive in, guys. Start having an open mind and open heart, and let's get this figured out. Let's figure out why we've been suppressed for so long. Let's figure out what we do to overcome that, to continue to expand our consciousness, and to really create what's known as the new earth, what Eckhart Tolle talked about being in this resonance of 5D, where we're all in the space of peace, love, and joy. These false senses of scarcity and wars and all of the fighting that happens on this planet does not even need to be happening. So as we grow and learn and we experience this increase in our intuition, and as we do it together, we're going to really start creating what the 5D is. So I've posted the links to the group. The PayPal link is also posted in the beginning of the comments here. It's also posted in the actual post itself. So we encourage you guys to donate. And this was fun. I feel like we covered a lot and learned a lot. Amanda, do you have any final words that you want to share?
I love you all, and thank you, Emily, for the education on the cards today. That was awesome.
Absolutely.
That was amazing. Oh, if you want to really learn this philosophy of how to clear your energy and put yourself in the safety bubble of light, to listen to this video. Listen to that portion of this video.
Yeah.
Hopefully you understood me. Yeah,
she said if you want to know more about the safety bubble of light and you want to get better at it, listen to the replay. Go back to the beginning and go. You can use this as a meditation. Go back and play at the beginning, and go through that activation again. Powerful stuff. Karen says, "Thank you so much. We're amazing." Thank you too. I'm going to take a moment to receive that. That's one of the areas where I'm really trying to work on receiving that energy when someone gives me a compliment. So I received that, Carolyn. Thank you very much. And I send that back to you too. You guys are amazing. Dallas says, thank you. I love angels. Yes.
Aww.
Thank you, Dallas. Thank you all so much for being here. I want you guys to receive that. Thank you for being here. Not only for the support that you give to Amanda and I for this show, but the support you give to each other, the support you give to yourself. This is an essence of you showing up in self-love. It's big. it feels like, oh, I'm just tuning into a show but we are changing the planet as we do this, and it's not that difficult. I hope you guys really are walking away with the idea of, oh, I can read cards. It's not that big of a deal, right? I clear them, I send them with energy, I pull them out. See, it's not that difficult. So yes, thank you guys for showing up and being willing to be in a space of love, to shift yourself, to shift the planet. I want you guys to receive that. Receive that. Each one of you who are here for a purpose. It's not just you randomly jumped on or that you've been joining us. You are here to receive the activations, the insights, and the support that you need to move along on your journey. So thank you for showing up and being willing to receive that. Okay? Namaste. Yes.
AJ wants to know the deck you were using.
The deck that I was using for the examples is this one. It's called the Chakra Insight Oracle. It's a pretty cool one. It's got really incredible artwork on it. This is by Blue Angel Publishing. And that's another thing. If you're not comfortable getting stuff on Amazon, and yeah, I kind of feel myself being called out on Amazon a little bit too. Like, it would, honestly, if I were to order, and I'll just be perfectly honest, I order these from Amazon. However, in the future, I love the idea of supporting local business, supporting small businesses. So in the future, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order it from the little website on the back. So it's by Blue Angel. If you guys can see this, blueangelonline.com. Order them directly from source.
Yeah, and
or Amazon.
Yeah, you can even look. Yeah, you can even look on Amazon and see cards you like, and then go to the publisher directly.
Yeah, yeah, and
people run your metaphysical bookstores, so they need to go online to find them too.
Yes, and if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to Amanda and I on the group. You can, on the page, you can reach out to us through private messenger if you have questions about cards or what you think are good decks, or you're like, I'm choosing between these two. Do you get a feeling of which one might be the right one for me? I will happily answer those questions for you guys, because we want to help support you on your path to awakening and igniting your intuition and shifting yourself and shifting the planet. So anything that we can do to be of service, reach out, okay?
Remember going in the group to do readings.
Yep, go in the group, do readings. I posted the link to the group, so make sure you find that and join the group. And again, the most shares out today will be receiving a prize. So we'll be posting that information later once we tally. We'd love you guys to tell us how many places you shared. Makes it a lot easier. All right? Namaste, everybody. Take cover in those solar storms. Be good to yourself. Have compassion for other people who are getting their shit brought to the surface. Pardon my French. And we love you all. All right, have a good day.